Hey guys, Josh Henkin here, created the DVRT Ultimate Sandbag Training Systems along with my good friend from Alpha Kettlebell, Troy Anderson. What we're going to do is show you some of the concepts from our upcoming Impact Resistance program. You can see more about it in our blog coming up, but we want to show you how you can combine some advanced kettlebell drills with DVRT Ultimate Sandbag drills. So we're going to get into it with one of my favorite drills that we've come up with, which is a sort of a combination. You can think about this a lot of different ways. One is it's giving some instability to your classic kettlebell deadlift. Two, it's actually a precursor to Renegade Row. So for those of you that done push-up rows, and you'll see that from a lot of the different positions. So we're going to look at a lot of anti-rotation, anti-lateral flexion, but we're going to get a lot of work through that lead leg. So Troy's assumed a heel-toe relationship. He's going to have the bells on the outside of the front leg. He's deadlifted up. He's going to slide back down, and he's going to do one row per side. Then we repeat the deadlift. He's got his rear heel elevated, nice tension through the upper back. He's loading through that right leg. About 60% of the load is through that right leg, about 40% through that back leg. So what you're doing is when he's driving up, he's got a little bit of that anti-rotation. When he's down in that row, same thing. So we're building progression over time. I'm watching to make sure his hips don't shift. And the nice thing is this makes lighter kettlebells feel much heavier. And if you really want to do something diabolical, you can actually use mixed size kettlebells, usually starting the heavier one in the inside part of your leg, eventually using on the outside. You're going to really find a challenge with this drill. So now it's really important whenever we add another drill or another implement for that matter, it's always done with a purpose and intent. So when we go into our drop step lunge to arc press, we're doing so because we're running parallel to that kettlebell sprinter stance row and deadlift we just did. So when Troy goes ahead and brings this USB up to his shoulder, already we're having the same sort of anti-rotation, lateral flexion in a different manner, a different leverage point. He's going to drop step lunge. He's going to get into what we call the hover. So not let his knee touch the ground. He's going to have to really brace his foot in the ground, his toes in the ground. He's going to try to slowly arc press to the opposing side. He'll drive back up, and we'll do the same thing on the opposing side. So keeping tension through the entire chain during the press, what you'll see a lot of people do is they'll compromise the press either with speed or not go to full lockout, or you'll see them shortchange or rotate in the lunge. So this is a nice synergistic movement, again, layering some of these X patterns that we talk about in functional movement. So our goal with our DVRT program and the idea of impact resistance is to build layers of movement efficiency. So yes, we'll challenge the body with a little, but also challenge it with layers of complexity of movement. So we want to see how you can transition from one movement to another. So what we're doing is now going to work more transverse plane, more rotation. So Troy's going to do an inside out kettlebell clean into rotational press. There's actually purpose into doing this. So he's going to start in the strong position, clean the weight up and pivot at the same time. He's then going to quickly pivot over and create a press. Now, the reason that we're doing this is because most motions require a quick pivot motion. He'll come back to the middle. Let's re-clean. He's actually absorbing and starting the weight in a strong position. He's catching the load in a nice tall vertical torso, so very low risk issues with his low back, going in that press overhead. Nice. So as he gets more efficient, it'll become a pivot. So let's see if he can do it. We'll be clean, pivot, and then pivot. So you're using the energy from the ground to create the motion. So this is a really dynamic clean and press that really will also enhance not just his movement efficiency, but the metabolic stress that he creates upon his body. Okay, the last drill in this series we're going to use is a rotational drill again, but with a little different stability component. Before, Troy started actually inside his legs in a strong position. Now we're going to start in the rotate position, which actually is a little bit more challenging position to begin the movement in. But we're going to have already patterned with the kettlebell how to absorb and create that force from the ground up. Now once he actually goes from his rotational clean, he's going to catch it, and then he's actually going to go into a drop step lunge. So we get, again, an opportunity to build some X patterning, some instability through the lunge. So when he goes ahead and actually goes in position, you see everything's nice and lined, no rotation through the low back, all through the hip. He's going to create power through that outside hip using that inside foot. Catch it to that front load position. He's going to slowly drop. There you go, give a little better space. Nice clean lunge, back up. That lunge that we just showed has basically been shown to be more metabolic than any other implement in that position. So if he rotates back, he's going to be in a nice clean position, almost like he's trying to explode and drive with both feet. He's going to create some stability, X pattern, nice brace, nice dynamic plank. A really nice combo that makes you reevaluate, let's say, a squat and clean. Now we're doing a rotational clean and lunge. Really phenomenal way to build some true functional world strength.